Hey guys, welcome back to OG Universe. Thank you for stopping by and taking a look at this video. Today we're taking a look at Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse, Dark Knight's Metal, Gladiator Batman. So Gladiator Batman comes from a very special comic book series called Dark Knight's Metal, where Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo envisioned a dark multiverse full of evil incarnations of the Batman. Some very epic stories, some very twisted comic book designs on our favorite characters. Imagine if the Flash and Batman merged into one. You got the Red Death. Doomsday and Batman merged into one. You got the Devastator. Some very cool designs. I really suggest you take a look at the Dark Knight's Metal and just explore the dark multiverse that they put together. Some very cool storyline. Now, in addition to the storyline, which was quite fun and epic, you got some amazing characters, which were translated into action figures from Mcfarlane Toys. They made some incredible action figures from this series. I didn't think we'd ever get some of these figures. They were produced in the first year of DC Multiverse by Mcfarlane Toys, and there's some standouts, definitely like the Red Death, Devastator, Murder Machine, such a cool name. Yeah, there's some very cool characters to check out. But today we're going to take a look at this guy here. And as you can tell, he definitely has that Legends of the Dark Knight kind of vibe to him. If you're a kid from the 90s and you remember collecting those variant Batman, the Egyptian Batman, the Pirate Batman, all these crazy designs, this definitely harkens back to that, but with our modern interpretations from Mcfarlane Toys and the magnificent sculpting and toy craftsmanship that they have. This thing is decked out just beautifully. I'll take a little closer look here. So one of the things that really stands out, that metal cowl with the rivets on the side. It looks just fantastic. He's carrying a huge battle axe. He's got a lot of armor plating. He's got some bats hanging off his shoulders as pauldrons. His cape is just a thing of beauty. I really like how it's purple. It's not black, it's not gray. It's got a purple color to it. It's got some really nice texturing, and it's a nice light cape. So it's not going to weigh the figure down and make him back heavy whatsoever. So here we go. Man, it's an impressive figure. Now, I would say a couple things it could need. A little work on the paint apps, for sure. It could use a bit more paint to bring out some of the details on these wraps here and underneath the legs. But still, it's a lot of sculpted detail, which, you know, some dry brushing would make it look even better, I think. The buckles, everything's covered here. You got this very cool looking gauntlet for his wrist. The hands as well. All metal sculpting. Looks so cool. Man, if you get punched in the face by this Batman, you're definitely going to feel it the next day if you're lucky enough. He has some stubble going on the head sculpt as well. Very cool. And like I said, very thin but sturdy cape. Has a really cool design with that windswept look to it. Now the axe here, it does look great. I kind of wish he had two axes, but I'm sure I can scrounge up another axe to give Batman. The hands are very tight though, so please be careful when you're trying to manipulate the hands and get this battle axe into his hand. Warm it up, give it some heat, and then apply a little bit of pressure to open it up, and the axe should go in no problem. Of course, he does come with the classic hockey disc, display stand, a trading card, and that's about it for this Batman. But for articulation, you got a pretty stiff, limited ball joint in the head. So it doesn't give you this best range of motion. I might have to heat it up, take it off the ball joint, and then put it back on. Hopefully that'll liberate some of the neck articulation. Now the shoulders, he does have some good range in the shoulders. He does have that extra butterfly hinge, double jointed elbows, and the wrists have the ball joints. At the waist, pretty good, well, actually a pretty good depth of motion here. So he's got a lot of articulation there. He can hunch down, getting some pretty cool poses. I really like that. Legs, of course, are ball jointed, double jointed knees, ankle articulation with a ball joint, and the classic toe articulation, which is really stiff on this one. But if you take a look at the feet there, it does have some nice sculpted details. Bit of dry brushing, I think, would really bring out a lot more detail into this figure. But man, I really like it. Right out of the package, I'm like, yep, I like this figure a lot. The details are incredible, the sculpting. The paint, it just needs a little bit more paint, I think, but man, I could add that. Any customizer can add that. Now, one figure I want to bring out and put side by side is the Future's End Superman, which is kind of like a Gladiator version of Superman as well from the storyline. That was pretty epic, where Superman is stranded on Warworld, powerless, and he's got to adapt to a gladiator kind of a competition to win his freedom. I really like this figure. These two, I think, pair up very well. I know they're from different storylines, but on your action figure shelf, I think these two would look really good together. Kind of almost have like a bit of an Elseworlds feel to both of these guys, of course, but on a shelf, I think it would look really cool to have some of these Elseworld characters kind of put together. But yeah, there you go, guys. I wanted to do a quick little presentation on this guy. He does look fantastic. If you find him at retail, go for it. If you find him online, go for it. You're not going to be disappointed. The figure is fun, super detailed. He just has a really classic feel to it. And man, he just looks great. Mcfarlane, again, hitting it out of the park. Great figure. You won't be disappointed. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to have a review on the Future State Superman as well, coming shortly. But thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this Batman. Do we need another Batman in our collection? I for sure do, because I love this figure, and I love all the variants they've been producing. So stay tuned for more, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.